I used to think I was the luckiest man alive. You married out of your league, my friends joked, and I laughed because I believed love didn't keep score. My wife was a CEO, sharp and admired, and I was proud to stand beside her. When people praised her, I felt taller. When they envied me, I smiled and said, "She earned it." At breakfast, she scrolled through emails. "You're not eating," I said. "I ate earlier," she replied. "You woke up 5 minutes ago." "Exactly." I smiled anyway. At dinner one night, my mother watched my wife check her phone between bites. "Work never sleeps," my wife said, not looking up. "It can wait 10 minutes," my mother replied gently. "I can't," my wife said. "This deal decides next quarter." I jumped in. "It's fine, Mom. I knew what I married into." My father set his fork down. "Son, ambition is good," he said quietly. "But warmth matters too." "She's just focused," I said. "That's why she's winning." My wife smiled thinly. "See? He understands." After dinner, my mother followed me to the kitchen. "Do you feel heard?" she asked. "I feel chosen," I said. "That's enough," she shook her head. "Chosen shouldn't mean alone." Later that night, my wife kissed my cheek while typing. "Don't let them doubt us," she said. "I won't," I promised. Mornings became rushed. "I'll eat." "At the office," she'd say, already moving. "Let me walk you out," I offered. "No time," she replied. Her assistant, Lily, waited by the door, holding a tablet. "Schedule's tight today," she said politely. "That's every day," I joked. She avoided my eyes. "She appreciates your support." The door closed before I could answer. Days blurred. I learned to eat alone. I learned to listen for keys that came late. I learned not to ask questions that ended conversations. One evening, I reheated soup and called my parents. "You sound tired," my mother said. "I'm happy," I insisted. "Happiness shouldn't feel lonely," she answered. My father added, "Just protect your heart." I ended the call and stared at our wedding photo. This is normal, I told myself. Love means patience. Love means sacrifice. At a company gala, people surrounded her. "You're incredible," they said. She squeezed my hand once. "Smile," she whispered. I did, even when she let go. On the drive home, I asked, "Did you eat?" "I don't remember," she said. "That worries me," I said. "Don't manage me," she snapped. "I'm your husband." "And I'm your responsibility?" she asked coldly. That night, as she checked emails in bed, I asked, "Do you miss us?" She paused. "Don't make this heavy." I turned away, telling myself strength meant silence, but something in her eyes felt colder than before, and my stomach tightened with a doubt I couldn't name. The next weekend, my parents visited again. "You didn't have to come," I said. "We wanted to see you," my mother replied. "My wife stayed in her office." "She's busy," I explained. My father looked around. "This house feels quiet." "It's peaceful," I said. "Peace isn't empty," he answered. I laughed too quickly. "You worry too much." My phone buzzed. My wife texted, "Don't interrupt me." "I won't," I typed back. Lily stepped out later. "She'll be working late," she said. "Every night?" I asked. She hesitated. "That's success." I sat with my parents. "She loves me," I said. "She just shows it differently." My mother squeezed my hand. Love should make space. After they left, I stood outside her office door. "Can we talk?" I asked. 5 minutes, she replied. "I miss you. I'm building something." "What about us?" "This is us," she answered. That night, I lay awake, counting her breaths, wondering when love started feeling like a negotiation. A few days later, my parents called. "We're worried," my mother said. "You always are," I replied. "Listen. To us," my father said softly. "Some people love success more than people. She chose me," I said. "Did she choose you?" he asked. or the life you gave her. I stayed quiet. That evening, my wife came home early. We're hosting investors, she said. Be charming. I always am, I said. She studied me, her eyes sharp and distant. Don't embarrass me. I'm your husband, I said. She nodded once. Exactly. As she walked away, something twisted inside me. I told myself doubt was weakness, but the silence between us felt louder than any warning. I stood alone in the living room. This is love, I whispered. No one answered. I checked my phone. No messages. I remembered my mother's voice, my father's. Pause. Lily's careful smiles. I pushed it all down. Loneliness is the price, I told myself. Strong women need strong men. When my wife returned, I asked, Are we okay? She looked at me, unreadable. We're fine. I nodded, believing her words, but her eyes held something else, something calculating, and my stomach tightened as the first real doubt finally took root. I ignored it, smiled, and chose faith over fear, not knowing that this small choice would quietly lead me toward the moment my parents had tried to save me from all along back then. I started measuring love in minutes. I'll be late, she texted. Again? I typed. No reply. I reheated dinner, ate alone, and told myself patience was love with better timing. When she finally came home, I said, I waited. You didn't have to, she replied, setting her phone down only to pick it up again. I wanted to, I said. That's on you, she answered. The next morning, I tried again. Can we have breakfast together tomorrow? She didn't look up. Put it on my calendar. I laughed, then stopped when she didn't. I'm serious. So am I, she said. This quarter decides everything. Everything includes us, I said. She sighed. You're being too sensitive. That phrase followed me all week. At a company dinner, I met her business partner, Daniel. You're the famous husband, he said, smiling too easily. I'm just her husband, I replied. She speaks highly of you, he said, though his eyes slid away. During drinks, a junior executive sat beside me. You don't work here, right? He asked. No, I said. Oh, he replied, turning back to his phone. I felt invisible in my own marriage. Later in the car, I said, Your team treats me like furniture. They're focused, she said. Don't take it personally. It feels personal. Everything feels personal to you lately, she snapped. I went quiet. Silence was safer. That night, I found a small box on the shelf, our anniversary gift, still wrapped. I held it, then put it back. Tomorrow, I whispered. Tomorrow never came. My parents called. How are you? My mother asked. I'm fine, I said. You sound tired, she said. I'm just busy supporting her. My father said, support shouldn't erase you. I'm happy, I insisted. After the call, I stared at the box again. I'm overthinking, I told myself. A week later, Daniel visited. Mind if I steal her for a call? He asked me. She's always on calls, I replied. He smiled. That's why she wins. I waited in the kitchen while they talked behind closed doors. Laughter leaked through. I didn't remember the last time she laughed like that with me. When he left, I said, You sounded happy. It was a good deal, she replied. Do I still make you happy? She paused. Why are you asking this now? Because I miss you. You're projecting, she said. I don't have time for this. I just want to talk. Schedule it, she said. That night, I lay awake, listening to her type. Do you love me? I asked softly. She didn't stop typing. Of course. You didn't answer. I did, she said. Go to sleep. I turned away, telling myself not to be weak. Days later, Lily stopped me in the hallway. She's under pressure, she said carefully. I know, I replied. She appreciates stability, Lily added. Is that what I am? I asked. She smiled politely. You're important, Her words felt rehearsed. I tried harder. I cleaned more. I spoke less. I waited. One night, I reheated dinner for the third time. The microwave beeped. I flinched. "Get it together," I muttered. When she came home, I said, "We forgot our anniversary." She blinked. "That was this week?" "Yes," I said. "I've been busy." "I bought you something," I said. She glanced at the box. "You shouldn't waste money." "It's not waste," I said. "It's us." She sighed. "You're attaching meaning to objects. It's a symbol." "Symbols don't close deals," she replied. I nodded, swallowing the ache. "I'll return it." "Good," she said, already scrolling. I remembered my mother's voice. "Love should make space." I pushed it away. "This is temporary," I told myself. One evening I came home early. Her shoes were by the door. I smiled. "You're home," I said. She startled. "You should have texted." "Why?" I asked. She hesitated. "I was on a call." I heard her voice through the office door. Soft. Low. "I can't talk like this at work," she said. "Later." My chest tightened. She opened the door. "Did you hear that?" "Who were you talking to?" I asked. "Business," she said too quickly. Her phone buzzed. She turned away, whispering, "I miss you too." I stood frozen. "Who was that?" I asked. She looked at me, eyes sharp. "You're crossing a line." "I'm your husband, and I need space," she said. She walked past me. I stayed there, heart pounding, replaying her voice. It wasn't cold. It wasn't rushed. It was intimate. I remembered every warning I ignored. I stared at the untouched gift, still wrapped, and realized love hadn't been delayed. It had been redirected. Behind the closed door, she laughed softly again, and in that sound, something inside me finally cracked. I tried to ask without accusing. "Are we okay?" I said, keeping my voice calm. She didn't look up. "Why wouldn't we be?" "You feel far," I said, "like I'm always reaching." She sighed. "That's your insecurity talking." "I'm not insecure," I said. "I'm confused." "You read into everything," she replied. "It's exhausting." I nodded, even though my chest burned. "I just want reassurance." "You want control," she said. Big difference. That hurt more than yelling. Later, I met my old friend Aaron for coffee. "You look tired," he said. "I'm married," I joked. He didn't laugh. "Power changes people," he said, "especially when someone stops needing you." "She needs me," I said quickly. "For what?" he asked. I didn't answer. At home, I opened a drawer looking for a charger and found papers instead. Bank statements, accounts I didn't recognize, my name missing. I whispered, "That's strange." When she came in, I asked, "Why am I not on these?" She barely glanced. "Business accounts." "We built everything together," I said. "You supported me," she corrected. "That's different." My throat tightened. "Why didn't you tell me?" "You wouldn't understand," she said. "And don't snoop." "I live here," I said. "This is my life." She folded her arms. "You're overreacting again." That word. Again. My parents arrived unannounced that evening. "We were nearby," my mother said. I smiled too fast. "You should have called." My father studied my face. "You okay?" "I'm fine," I said. During dinner, my wife stayed quiet, checking emails. My mother watched her, then me. "You've lost weight," she said. "I've been busy," I replied. After dinner, my mother pulled me aside. "Something's wrong." "It's stress," I said. "Marriage stress?" she asked softly. I looked away. "She's successful. My father joined us. Success shouldn't erase you." "I'm proud of her," I said. "That's not what we're asking," he replied. Later, alone, I stared at the documents again. I trust her, I told myself. I must, but trust felt thinner. The next morning I asked, Do you see me as your partner? She smiled without warmth. Don't start. I need to know. You're my husband, she said. Titles matter. What about roles? I asked. You support? She said. I lead. I felt small. That wasn't the deal. Deals change, she replied. Adapt. That night, I couldn't sleep. Am I enough? I whispered. She didn't answer. I met Aaron again. I think I'm disappearing, I said. He frowned. Don't let her rewrite you. What if she already has? I asked. At home, my parents called. We're worried, my mother said. You always are, I replied. We see patterns, my father said. You sound like you're asking permission to exist. I ended the call early. That evening, I watched her pack files. Are you hiding things from me? I asked. She froze. Why would you say that? Because I feel excluded. That's your issue, she snapped. Not mine. I flinched. I just want honesty. You want reassurance every time you feel small, she said. That's not my job. Something cracked then. Quiet, but deep. I looked around the house. Do I have a place here? I asked. She shrugged. You're here, aren't you? I thought of the papers, the missing name, the careful words, the way love felt conditional. My parents' voices echoed. Power changes people. I sat alone, realizing my marriage wasn't built on love anymore. It was built on leverage, and for the first time, I understood something terrifying. I wasn't her partner. I was her risk. I didn't plan to go. The invite wasn't meant for me, and I knew that. Still, something pulled me there. I walked into the ballroom and froze. She was on stage. My wife stood under bright lights, smiling, confident, one hand resting lightly on Daniel's arm. Applause filled the room. Together, we've built something extraordinary, she said. I stepped closer. Daniel leaned into the microphone. None of this would be possible without her vision, she laughed. Or his support. People clapped again. I pushed forward. Excuse me, I said to the security guard. He frowned. Invite? I'm her husband. He hesitated, then let me pass. I reached the front just as someone asked, Who's that? She glanced at me. Her smile didn't change. Oh, she said, that's just my husband. Just no name. Daniel shook my hand. Good to finally meet you properly. We've met, I said. He smiled. Have we? My wife leaned in. Don't do this here, she whispered. Do what? I asked. Exist? Her jaw tightened. Go home. Someone nearby laughed. Power couple, they said. I looked at her. Is this what we are now? She kept smiling for the room. You're embarrassing me. I didn't know I needed permission, I said. Daniel stepped closer. Maybe we should talk later. My wife nodded. Yes, later. I felt invisible and exposed at the same time. I left before the applause ended. At home, I sat in the dark. When she arrived hours later, she didn't take off her heels. That was inappropriate, she said. You didn't invite me, I replied. You weren't supposed to come. I'm your husband, she sighed. You're clinging to that word. What does that mean? I asked. She set her bag down. I married you when I needed stability. My chest went cold. What about love? She looked at me carefully. Love is flexible. So you used me, I said. I chose you, she replied. At the time. At the time, I repeated. She opened a folder and slid papers across the table. I've been preparing for this. I stared. Divorce? Don't make it dramatic, she said. It's been months. Months? I whispered. You weren't paying attention, she said. You never are. My hands shook. You planned this. I planned my future, she corrected. With him? I asked. She didn't answer. So all those nights, I said, all that silence, that distance, that was you leaving. She shrugged. People grow. You grew away from me, I said. You stayed the same, she replied. That hurt more than anger. I laughed once. My parents warned me. She rolled her eyes. They never liked me. They saw this, I said. They saw you. She crossed her arms. Don't turn them into prophets. I trusted you, I said. And I trusted you to support me, she replied. You did that well. I felt numb. Was any of it real? She hesitated, then said, It was useful. The word landed like a blow. I picked up the papers. Do you want me gone? Tonight would be easiest, she said. My lawyer recommends a clean break. My lawyer, I repeated. You don't have one, she said. That's another issue. I stood slowly. So I give you my life, and you give me an exit. You'll land on your feet, she said. You're adaptable. I looked around the house. This was our home. It was an asset, she replied. I went to the bedroom and grabbed a bag, shirts, socks. Nothing else felt like mine. She watched from the doorway. Don't be bitter, she said. I'm not bitter, I replied. I'm empty. She checked her phone. Daniel's waiting. Of course he was. At the door, I turned. Did you ever love me? She paused, then said, I cared. That's not love, I said. She didn't argue. I stepped outside. The night air hit me hard. I stood there with one bag and no place to go. I thought love failed. Then I understood the truth as the door closed behind me. Love didn't fail. Trust did. The apartment smelled like paint and old carpet. I dropped my bag and said out loud, This is temporary. My voice echoed back, thin and unsure. I sat on the floor. You deserved this, I told myself. You ignored every sign. The silence answered. I stared at my phone, then turned it face down. Don't call them, I muttered. You're not ready. Days passed without shape. I talked to myself because no one else was there. You were blind, I said while eating cereal. For dinner. You begged to be used. I punched the counter, then apologized to it. Sorry, I'm losing it. My mother called. I let it ring. My father texted. Are you safe? I typed, yes, then deleted it. That night, I lay on the mattress. She planned this, I whispered. She planned all of it. I replayed her words. Useful, asset, adaptable. Shut up, I told the memory. It didn't listen. The next morning, my phone rang again. I answered. I'm fine, I said quickly. My mother didn't argue. We're coming. You don't have to, I said. We do, she replied. They arrived with groceries and quiet eyes. My father hugged me once. My mother touched my face. You look tired, she said. I didn't sleep, I admitted. You don't have to be strong here, she said. I failed, I said. My father shook his head. You trusted. That was stupid, I replied. That was human, he said. After they left, the apartment felt smaller. I sat on the floor again. They warned you, I said to myself, and you chose love over truth. I laughed, short and bitter. You chose fantasy. A week later, I met the lawyer. He flipped through papers and said, She isolated you financially. So I'm broke, I said. Not broke, he replied. Displaced. By my own wife, I said. He nodded. It was calculated. I felt nothing. Can I hurt her back? He looked at me. You can fight, or you can survive. I walked out without answering. At home, I opened a box I hadn't unpacked. Inside was my wedding ring. I stared at it. You promised, I said to the metal. I slid it onto my finger. It felt heavy. You weren't real, I whispered. I took it off and pressed it into my palm until it hurt. My phone buzzed. My mother. Did you eat? Yes, I lied. That night, I dreamed of warning signs I'd ignored. I woke up angry. Enough, I said. Enough blaming. But blame was loud. I paced the room. You weren't enough, I said to myself. That's why she left. I stopped. No, I said slowly. She left because she wanted more. The difference felt important. My father called. Come. By tomorrow, he said. I don't want pity, I replied. It's not pity, he said. It's family. I went. My mother made tea. My father listened. I talked until my throat hurt. I feel empty, I said. That's grief, my mother replied. It passes. I don't want revenge, I said. That means you're healing, my father said. Back at the apartment, I held the ring again. You stayed, I told myself. She didn't. I placed it in a drawer. I choose me, I said, testing the words. They didn't feel real yet. I sat on the bed and spoke aloud. You will rebuild, slowly, quietly. The silence didn't argue this time. I stood up, opened the window, and let air in. I won't destroy her, I said. I won't disappear for her either. The city hummed outside, indifferent. I picked up my phone and saved a new note. Start again. For the first time since I left that house, I believed it was possible. The therapist asked, "Why do you think you stayed so long?" I said, "Because leaving felt like failure." She nodded. And staying? Staying felt loyal, I replied. Even when it hurt? She asked. Especially then, I said. I walked out lighter and heavier at the same time. That night my father called. You sound different, he said. I talked to someone, I replied. He paused. That takes courage. I don't feel brave, I said. You don't have to, he replied. You just have to keep breathing. We sat on the phone in silence. It felt full. My mother came by the next day. You're smiling, she said. I didn't notice, I replied. That's how it starts, she said. Over tea, I admitted. I forgot who I was with her. My mother reached for my hand. You didn't forget, she said. You postponed. Later alone, I opened my laptop and stared at old files, skills I hadn't touched in years. You still know this, I told myself. A message popped up. It was Mark, a former colleague. Heard you're free, he wrote. Free isn't the word, I typed. Available is enough, he replied. Want to consult? My stomach twisted. I'm rusty, I said. Rust scrapes off, he answered. I stared at the screen. I'm scared, I admitted. Then you're alive, he said. I accepted. That night, I sat on the floor and said out loud, You're allowed to want things. The room didn't argue. At therapy again, I said, I don't know what being a man means anymore. The therapist replied, Who told you there was one way? I did, I said. She smiled. Then you can change it. My father called late. I'm proud of you, he said. For what? I asked. For choosing yourself, he replied. I worked. Slowly. Bad drafts. Missed details. But progress.news articles appeared. My wife's company. Internal disputes. Board pressure. I closed the tab. Not my story, I said. My mother asked, Does it hurt to see that? It would have before, I said. Now it just feels distant. That's healing, she replied. One evening Mark said, You're good at this. I used to be, I replied. You still are, he said. You just forgot. I walked home feeling taller. In bed, I said to myself, Love shouldn't feel like performance. The words stayed. Another therapy session. What do you want now? She asked. I want peace, I said. And purpose. You can have both, she replied. At dinner with my parents, my father said, You look like yourself. I'm meeting him again, I said. My mother smiled. Good. That night, I stood by the window. I'm not broken, I whispered. Just bent. My phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. We should talk. I didn't reply. I put the phone down. Not today, I said. I breathed in. I breathed out. I stood straighter. I wasn't healed, but I wasn't shattered anymore. The call came late. I stared at the screen until it stopped ringing. Then it rang again. Hello, I said. Her voice sounded thinner. We need to talk. We already did, I replied. This is different, she said. Things are complicated. I sat down. That's not my problem. Silence stretched. I wouldn't call if it wasn't serious. You didn't call when you planned the divorce, I said. She exhaled sharply. You're still angry. I'm calm, I replied. There's a difference. My board is turning on me, she said. Daniel resigned. I said nothing. They're questioning decisions, she continued. Accounts are frozen. People I trusted are leaking information. I almost laughed. Almost. So? I asked. So you know how this works, she said. You helped me build systems. You can help me stabilize this. I closed my eyes. You want my help? Yes, she said quickly. Just advice. Temporary. You removed my name from everything, I reminded her. That was business, she said. And this is personal, I replied. She lowered her voice. I made mistakes. Did you? I asked. Or did your strategy fail? Her breath hitched. You're being cruel. I'm being honest, I said. She snapped. You don't understand the pressure I'm under. I do, I said. I lived under it with you. A pause. People are leaving, she said. Lily quit. The junior exec you hated testified against me. Funny how loyalty works, I said. You're enjoying this, she accused. No, I replied. I'm observing, she laughed once, sharp. You always did that, watched quietly. I learned from you, I said. Please, she said. I can fix this if you help. For what? I asked. Gratitude? For closure, she said. I thought of my father's voice. Choose yourself. I already have closure, I said. Her tone softened. I never meant to hurt you like this. You meant to protect yourself, I replied. Pain was acceptable. That's not fair, she said. It's accurate, I answered. She whispered, I'm scared. I felt it then, the temptation, the old reflex to rescue. I stood up. I won't do this. Why? She asked. After everything, why won't you help? Because I finally respect myself, I said. She went quiet. So you're just going to watch me fall? I'm going to live my life, I replied. She tried again. You owe me nothing? I owe myself peace, I said. Daniel's name came up again. He betrayed me, she said. You taught him how, I replied. She cried softly. You're different. I'm awake, I said. My phone buzzed with a text from Mark. Project approved. She heard the silence and said, Is someone with you? No, I replied. I'm not alone. That made her angry. You moved on fast. I moved inward, I said. She said my name like it was a question. I'm hanging up, I said. Wait, she said. If you help me, I can make it. Worth your while. I laughed then. You still don't get it. Get what? She snapped. That you don't get to buy me anymore? I said. Her voice broke. I didn't think you'd be like this. I didn't think you'd call for help, I replied. We sat in shared silence one last time. I trusted you, she said. So did I replied. The call ended. I leaned against the wall and breathed. My hands shook, then steadied. Later, my mother called. You okay? Yes, I said. I think so. My father added. You sound grounded. I chose not to save her, I said. That's not cruelty, he replied. That's growth. I went to bed without replaying her voice. In the morning, news broke. Lawsuits, resignations, headlines. I didn't click them. I looked in the mirror. You didn't win, I told myself. You walked away. That felt better. When my phone buzzed again, I turned it off. Karma didn't knock. It called, and this time I didn't answer. I sat at my parents' kitchen table like I used when I was younger. My mother poured tea and said, "You look calm." "I feel quiet," I replied. My father nodded. "That's different." "I should have listened," I said. "Both of you tried to warn me." My mother didn't say I told you so. She said, "You loved deeply." "I loved blindly," I replied. My father said, "Love shouldn't require silence." I swallowed. "I thought sacrifice was strength." "It is," my mother said, "when it's mutual." We sat there, hands wrapped around warm cups. I said, "I ignored myself." "You found yourself again," my father replied. Later that week, I saw her for the last time. She waited outside a cafe, shoulders smaller, eyes tired. "Thank you for coming," she said. "I didn't come for closure," I replied. "I came for honesty," she nodded. "I owe you that." We sat. She didn't order anything. "I lost the company," she said quietly. "I know," I replied. "I didn't think it would fall apart so fast," she said. "I did," I answered. "That kind of foundation always cracks." She flinched. "You're different." "I had to be," I said. She looked down. "I'm sorry," I believed her. I forgive you," I said, her eyes filled. "Does that mean—" "No," I interrupted. "It means I'm free." She nodded slowly. "I used you." "Yes," I said. "You did." "I thought ambition was everything," she whispered. "And I thought love was enough," I replied. We sat in silence. "I miss who I was with you," she said. "I don't," I replied gently. I lost myself there. She took a breath. "I wish I had listened." "So do I," I said, "but for different reasons." When we stood, she hesitated. "Will you ever think of me kindly?" "I already do," I said, "just not longingly." She smiled sadly. "Take care." "You too," I replied. I walked away without looking back. That night, I called my parents. "I saw her," I said. My mother asked, "How do you feel?" "Light," I replied. My father said, "Then it's over." "It is," I said. I lay in bed and thought about silence, how I swallowed words to keep peace, how peace never came. I won't do that again, I told myself. In the mirror the next morning, I said, "You matter." It didn't sound strange anymore. At work, Mark said, "You've changed." "I hope so," I replied. "You seem steady," he said. "I am," I said. Later, alone, I thought about ambition, how it can build or destroy, how love should feel safe, not earned, how ignoring yourself costs more than any breakup, I whispered. I survived. I packed away the last reminder of my old life. I didn't rush. I didn't linger. My mother called again. "Dinner tomorrow?" "I'll be there," I said. My father added, "Proud of you." "For what?" I asked. "For choosing yourself," he replied. That night, I walked through the city. People passed me, unaware. I felt grounded. I thought betrayal would end me. It didn't. It woke me up. I stopped under a streetlight and spoke quietly, just for me. Listen when love hurts. Speak when silence feels heavy. Walk away when respect disappears. I breathed, and I breathed out. I wasn't angry, I wasn't broken, I was awake, and this time I chose myself before it was too late.